Hey ballers, it's Horton, and I have a box, a package, call it a care package for the nice folks at Reflex. It's already open because sometimes I gotta do this more than once. So let's see what's inside and talk about it. First and probably most important is Reflex SuperShell number 7, or SuperShell 7, I think that's what they call it. So obviously they've gone through a whole bunch of iterations and improvements on this over the years. I'm going to start with talking about the buckles. So personally, I love this style of buckle because you can always get the same setting. By the way, huge deal when you're skiing. If you're using some kind of hard shell, is you need the same tightness right after ride. You may run your stuff loose. I don't recommend that on the middle buckle. I think that's dangerous. But you may run this loose and you may run this loose. Fine. Just be consistent. Well, with these latch type buckles, you're always going to get there. I think I really like that. So it's nice and firm down here and then relatively pliable up here. Comes with this strap, which you may or may not run around the top of your liner. It is removable should you for some reason not want it. I don't know why you wouldn't. Also back here is the Achilles strap. It's kind of hard to see in the video here. So there's this strap here. So if you're going out the front, as your ankle drives forward, it transfers the force to the lower portion of the boot, which is connected to the release mechanism, releases you more safely. SuperShell 7 also features this carbon fiber piece, which is probably kind of hard to see in the video. There it goes, that shows better. So it stiffens at your ankle bone, and I'm gonna guess it also adds for some stability under your foot. So when the shell sits down on the plate, it's more flat. We'll talk more about that in a second. I think that's everything on the shell. So also in this box is the plate itself. Pretty much standard stuff. I think the water ski industry has very much adopted this as the standard release mechanism everybody uses. So in this case, it is the 840. I won't BS you and tell you I know the difference between all the versions of the release mechanisms, but I believe this is the stainless steel one. If not, if you're in salt water, make sure you get the stainless steel version. You see the old release mechanisms in salt water and they get kind of crusty. Also on this, so there was a time when these shells came with a whole bunch of carbon or 3D printed parts on here. They've gotten rid of most of it and now it's just this heel attachment. And that is there to really just keep the back of the boot from sliding side to side. There's not very much play, and you can also use these nylon screws to tighten that up. So the plate, it's kind of the same plate we've been using for 30 years? How long has this product been out? I don't know, but it's rock solid. I wouldn't change it. I love it. It's great. So what they also sent me, which I thought was super interesting, here in this nice bag, which I don't know what I'm going to do with, but I like it, is a new version of the liner that I've never seen before. So it used to be there was the thick, I guess probably Reflex bought it from Intuition. It was a thick liner, and a lot of people like it, especially for tricks. I found it kind of vague. And then there was the Reflex specific liner that was always really thin, and I think it was really good contact with the ski, but sometimes it was a little uncomfortable in the boot. This looks like a nice happy medium. It is, I believe it's a variable thickness, like it's thicker down in here maybe, I'm not sure about that. But so kind of an intermediate thin liner. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be really comfortable. My old liners really kind of taken a beating. Which does bring me to the other thing they sent me, which is just nice of them, is they sent me a new Artstyle liner. And if you're not familiar with Artstyle, here's one. I have a couple of them. Here's one of mine, and it's just a half boot, and the liner slides down in here. I'll cram this in here, and there you go. What's great about Artstyle is it's a hard shell back binding that at the end of your ride, no matter how tight you do these buckles, when you're done, you just step right out. Or in a crash, you can always get out. So I think not only do I prefer skiing in this, but I don't think there's any safety concern about this. I think this is, I mean, I wish I could run this on the front. Don't do it, that's a bad idea. And the thing about this is it brings up something funny, is my old liner, this one, I've got 3 or 4 years on this, so 800 rides on it. My toes used to stick through, which I think is pretty funny. There's a hole there. I had put this together with like wetsuit tape to keep it together. It was time for a new one. It just kind of shows how much I've skied in these Artstyle boots and liners. Love it. This thing did its job. I mean, again, 800 rides. I don't know what other piece of ski equipment I have that's taken this much abuse. It's still comfortable, but I'm excited about this. So I just want to say thanks to the folks at Reflex for hooking me up with some new gear. This will be my first ride on the SuperShell of any time. So SuperShell 7, I'm going to ski as soon as I can get this sucker put back on my ski, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Thank you, ballers. Thank you, Reflex.